Guys, Crane here. We are back for the second part of the G1 disassembly. We've already taken off the back portion and the motherboard. We are going to go ahead and remove the bottom piece right here. Now, when you're doing this, this is really where this phone becomes tricky. We've already removed the screws from the back in 1, 2, and 3. Now, slide it open. Okay. You're going to get under here. This one has already been done. You're going to pry. You're going to hear it snap. Now this is one of the harder parts to get done. Now you're going to need to use a wider tool to do this because it's really fastened in there tightly. You're going to go underneath here and pop it up. Now, as we do that, you can see there's two parts to the hinge here. There is the part that moves and there's a stationary part right here. Okay? We're going to lift up, and unfortunately this particular phone has had the flex cable broken. That's why it was traded in, so it's not going to look exactly like it does on yours, but we've popped that open right there. Okay, now this piece right here, you can see that where my finger is right there, actually slides in right there. So what you have to do is lift up. You're going to slide this piece out with it. You're going to slide up, and then you're going to pull out. Unfortunately, that piece is going to come disconnected. That piece right there will slide off, and this piece will remain inside the phone. That is actually why this phone was traded in for repair anyway. Alright, now at this point, this is still attached right there. You've got your two pieces of the flex cable that attach to the motherboard. They are actually right below that part. Okay? You're going to lift up. Your hinge assembly actually latches in right there. You've already undone these screws, but there's a screw right there and a screw right there on the other side that hold that in. So once you've undone it, it should lift right up. Okay? Lift up. You want to be careful with those flex cables. Slide them out. They are hooked. Don't want to damage those. These flex cables are pretty expensive to replace. Alright, now, to the back of the phone. I've actually already disassembled this phone, so I've taken the screws out. We're going to go back to the PH00. You have two small screws right here, and a large one right there, and a large one right there. Okay? They look sort of like that. Hopefully you can see that. They're just little Phillips head screwdrivers. Now, you're going to get a small pry tool, or a small flat metal piece. Go under right there, and lift up, lift up, lift up. Now, go to do the same thing on the other side, lift up. Sometimes you slide down, it'll make it a little bit easier as you go. The good folks at HTC did a heck of a job putting this phone together, and as you get into this phone, you're going to realize what I'm talking about. It is a difficult phone to work with. Okay? Now, there's sort of a trick to this here. There's a little metal piece under here. You can see that little metal plate. What I like to do is actually lift that up with it. Let me see if I can get this piece down. There we go. That piece. Alright. Come on. Always gives me a hard time. But it makes it a little bit easier at the end of the day once you get that out of there. Get past that little metal tab. What happens is the metal gets caught on that tab right there, and you sort of have to push it over. Okay? Now I lift that whole piece up. On the underside, now this piece has already come off. That is where the flex cable was attached. Unfortunately, as I said, it was broken on this one right here. You've got two parts. The other two parts of that flex cable separate out. They just lift right up. There we go. And slide off to the side. I wish there was a better way to show you how to do that, but unfortunately it's just a difficult part to do. Now we have the flex cable right here. This is the flex cable that actually attaches to the LCD itself. With a small, spin this around here so you can see it, small foam piece over it. Lift that up, pry up the latch, and then this piece is going to slide out much like they did on the top half. So now we have the metal part separated right there. Now I've gotten to the LCD itself. Okay? This is always fun too. We've got this cloth right here. Underneath here we have yet another flex cable. So we're going to go ahead and peel that back. I've actually never been this far into this phone, so this will be the first time I've done it. Lift that piece back right there. Small flex cable. Lifts up right there. And lift back. Okay? Now we've separated that right there, and I believe we can actually just lift the LCD out at this point. Yes. Okay? Go in from the side, slide up. This flex cable right here is actually what attaches the digitizer to the LCD. Alright, that is going to wrap up the second part of the video. In the third part, we will show you how to take the digitizer out of the phone, put a new one in, and reassemble the phone.